Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a very strong statement over here, which if you guys have had a chance to see, especially from the CES basically event that happened as of yesterday, Sony had a chance to go and talk. And now this one is one of the most biggest groundbreaking achievements over here that we're finally almost maybe done with the PlayStation 5 restocks. Now we've been saying this on our channel for quite some time, but now we actually have the official Ryan himself statement talking about the fact that basically consoles are super readily available, and as well discussing the fact that this is almost the end of the shortage. Now I do keep on saying we have a little baby teensy tiny bit left over here because we still want to see stock like physically inside the stores themselves, and as well with online still being good, some locations obviously are still selling out relatively quickly, although if you guys do want to go and secure yourself a console, as of right now it's probably the easiest it's ever been. But it's kind of bigger coming from Ryan, the CEO himself's mouth, basically talking about the fact that the PlayStation has done phenomenal this past like few months, and as well how great it's doing, and that the stock crisis might almost be over. So huge news, big news in my opinion. I love having a chance to talk about this because as you guys know, our channel's been mainly focused around this the past like 2 years or so, and I keep on saying the future of our videos is going to be a little bit better with a little bit better editing and some cool stuff that's in the works already these past few weeks, so you guys be on the lookout for all of that in the coming soon. Like our show is going to be kind of coming pretty cool up here on the YouTube side, so hope you guys will stay tuned. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that, but as well for all the future news, Twitter and Twitch stream down below in case you guys would like to go and follow. And of course, we also have the Target and Amazon links to go check it out and get your own consoles themselves for pickup. And let's dive into some fantastic news. So as we mentioned, Ryan himself with a little bit of a big presentation along with Sony and PlayStation, and some of the things we want to know are all over here. Basically, someone over here saying that Sony says the PlayStation 5 has cleared now, and this is a huge momentous occasion, 30 million sales after now its biggest month yet after this last December, basically holiday rush. Ryan has now claimed at CES, and these are the magic big golden words, that the console's now finally more widely available. Now, obviously, the stock shortage is still not fully 100% done, but with you read these headlines, you see these statements, and just kind of the good news of just checking on like an Amazon, Target, GameStop, Best Buy, PlayStation Direct, you name it, at least in America, everything's going a little bit better. So, PlayStation 5 has now sold more through consumers, more than now 30 million units, Sony Interactive Entertainment has now announced. So basically, the sales milestone was shared during the CES showcase on Wednesday as of last night. If you guys missed it, upload on the channel itself. It means that the PlayStation 5 has now shipped to retailers, which is the data it usually shows. So sometimes it might be a little bit delayed, because let's say you send like 500,000 consoles, like 100,000 to Target, 100,000 to Best Buy. In theory, like they will be sold, they will be like listed, etc. But that's kind of what they basically kind of go for shipping wise. So at least 10.7 million units during this current Sony fiscal year have been sent out, and as well this will be ending on March 31st of 2023, in case you guys are curious on when it's going to end. So typically the shipped figures are higher than the sold through numbers from, as I mentioned, like let's say Target is just literally has 50,000 in a warehouse. They just haven't been sold yet. They will, just not yet. So Sony Interactive Entertainment's shipped sales target for the year is actually 18 million. A figure it stuck by in its most recent sales report published in November. So as of most recent news, they still want to go and flood the market with quite a few millions of new units. Now, it also is a little bit of like throughout the entire world. So like think Australia, Japan, UK, Russia, etc. Not only in America, although America has been getting a huge influx of stock these past few weeks. It now has only just 3 under months now to find up the last 7.3 million units to then go and achieve it, though the real number required is likely less, mainly because like some of these numbers are already being produced, already being sent on out, or as well some of these retailers may already have the stock itself. So that's two kind of big takeaways on this. Number one is that there's going to be at least another 7 million consoles coming out throughout all these other regions. Now, it'll probably be a little bit more spread out to places like India and China, etc., just because America usually gets a huge influx, same with the UK, around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the holidays, because, you know, we just are big spenders. They want to sell these bundles, they want to sell the stock, etc., etc. As well, we also have been hearing rumors of the brand new basically console, which is like that weird detachable disk drive to kind of get rid of some of those sales and tone down on weight, etc. For the consoles, which will also probably bump up the total sales numbers if they're easier to produce, and that's also announced. So speaking during Wednesday's CES showcase, Sony Interactive Entertainment President Jim Ryan claimed that December was literally their biggest PlayStation 5 sales month yet, and that increased availability means now that more consumers can also go and purchase one, which has been also kind of solid. As we keep on mentioning, we have a little teensy tiny bit left on our whole big restocking grind and everything we've been doing. Now, whenever I do that, I can't wait to take a few days off to relax and kind of fine tune our content, because we haven't had a chance to adjust our content here on YouTube for over 2 years. So give me a week to kind of fine tune better processes, editing, and everything else in the channel structure. It'll be a little bit nice. So like I said, make sure you guys are subscribed for that one. But it does go to show that almost every single big retailer has had brand new additional waves of stock, either in-store online order, or as well just general, just online order in general, shipped to your house, and the stock has been very good. It's kind of like if, say, GameStop right now sells out, that also means that, say, Amazon may have a brand new restocking wave, or maybe Walmart doesn't have any more stock in stores, but they may have just had a brand new fresh restock online. Now, it's still working out the kinks, and everything is kind of trying to align to have consistent stock, but also don't forget that sometimes these restocks would end within about an hour. So you'd have 100,000 consoles sold in an hour, and then you'd have to wait 3 weeks for the next restocking range. But now with this kind of a somewhat staggered, I guess, demand, is that maybe they'll sell 30,000 consoles, and then the next day another 15,000, 15,000, 15,000, and it might take 2 weeks, say for an Amazon or GameStop or Best Buy, to fully sell out for their local area. Obviously, this lot is just very dependent on where you're at, and that would also give them then that 2-week buffer to go and refill stock rather than a 1 month of no stock, if that makes sense. It's kind of like if you have the stock, you slowly sell the stock, you keep on ordering more, it kind of replenishes itself, or the lapse window is not as big. And that's been a big change over here, because some locations might still be selling stock and selling out of stock. But like I mentioned, if they can sell a little bit less quicker, that means that number one, there's less botters and scalpers, which we've been talking about a lot, because they're just not making as much money. So they're not going to want to be selling that stock. And that big stock, scalper and botting demand going down is a decent bit, it's good. It's good. That means that basically there's normal consumers are getting these consoles instead of people just trying to resell them, hold on the stock, and kind of have this weird artificial scarcity in the consoles themselves. So this is great because we're literally seeing Jim Ryan go and state that this is becoming pretty normal, that normalized stock is going phenomenal. And when it comes to him, it just kind of goes to show that the stock is there. Yes, the stock is there, but they're actually being sold. These retailers are getting them. They're being shipped. These places are receiving them. And that's probably the biggest thing, because if you can't give it to Walmart and they can't get it, well, then they can't sell. So it's been phenomenal. Stock's been going good. Jim Ryan himself has also stated he wanted this cleared up about a month or two ago, and that they're taking all these precautions to make sure it gets sorted, and make all these precautions make sure it's going well. And so far, I would probably say it is going well. So Sony previously said they would aim to ship 23 million PlayStation 5 consoles in the next fiscal year, which begins in April 2023, which will then put that console ahead of the PS4 during the same stage of its life cycle. And that's also kind of it's almost internal competition between the two. The electronics giant shipped 3.3 million PS5 units during the 3 months ended September 30th, 2022 for the fiscal year. It said in November, which is the exact same figure it managed during that same period as of last year. Speaking during an earnings call at the time, Sony said PlayStation 5 sales were going according to plan, and it believed it could still achieve an 18 million sales target. The company manufactured 6.5 million consoles during Q2. It claimed. So as we've kind of gone through all these types of things, it's just great news to see. Now, obviously hitting that 30 million console milestone is a huge number, but as well, it also means that 30 million people are not competing with you to go get your console if you're still having issues getting it. But as well, that also means that Jim Ryan himself has confidence that they're going to be able to keep on procuring and making and somewhat maintaining these stock levels, which in theory might also mean that this stock crisis might be almost done. I keep on saying there's maybe a little tiny bit left. It's not me trying to milk it, just whenever they're available on stores and 100% available online, because some places such as Walmart are still selling out over time, or some in-store places are running out of stock over time, then at that point we'll be pretty much fully good with this restocking era. And that means that we could finally go push next gen, and we could finally go have a lot more focus on upcoming games. And hopefully Jim Ryan can kind of maintain these numbers, because so far they have not. back down, and I think it's a very good sign to go and see. So I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Are you still looking for a console? Are you not looking for a console? And as well, I hope you guys will be subscribed for the future videos. A lot of people have always been curious what's actually after these restock stuff. We've kind of been doing it for the past few years anyway, just like I like doing like the general news and general videos. So let me know how that kind of goes for you guys. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, Target and Amazon links too, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching here in the first place.